already, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you out there watching or listening are doing super well. Before we get into the video, I just have one quick thing for you, or probably two quick things for you. The first and foremost is if you're watching this via YouTube, it would mean a lot to me if you gave the video a thumbs up, if you end up liking it, and also subscribing to the channel, because one of my main goals just for myself for 2020 was to build a bigger YouTube audience, not for the sense of like just getting more followers or more subscribers or having fame or whatever that is, but it's literally because I just want to be able to reach more people and help more people, because the more and more I work in this industry, the more and more I reach new people and just see what kind of goes through people's heads and what other fitness people are putting out there on the internet, what blogs people read, what articles, what podcasts, what videos they listen to, the more I realize I need to get out there more just to literally help more people. So if there's one thing you can do for me right now, that would be to subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your family, whatever it is. I would greatly appreciate it. The next one is going to be along the same lines, and that's just my podcast. Again, just for my own selfish goals. One of my goals for 2020 is to have a more downloaded podcast. And again, it's not for money, it's not for fame, not for clout, not for anything like that. It's literally just for trying to reach more people, because again, the more I work with individuals in this space, the more I get into this coaching thing, the more I see that people do need help, and people need real help, not a 30-day fat loss challenge, not a rapid fat loss protocol, not anything like that. They literally need help on changing their habits and the way they think and view fitness, working out, eating, their relationship with food, their relationship with food they need help with, just a bunch of things, guys. So if you can do that for me, the link is going to be below in the description. Please go to the podcast. There'll be, I take this audio from this YouTube video and put it on my podcast. So of course there's going to be these YouTube videos, but I do at least one podcast a week. So that's 2 a week if you include the YouTube video and the regular weekly podcast. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys took the time to go listen if you haven't already. And if you have listened and haven't left a review, please do that. It would mean a lot to me. So that's two things for you guys. Thank you so much. Getting into the video, this is gonna be a fun one, but I know it's gonna cause some uproar, some controversy, some what the hell are you talking about? It's gonna cause some, I don't want to say backlash because it has a negative connotation, but it's going to bring an uproar. So I want to go over 3 things that aren't making you fat, that are not making you gain weight. These 3 things are not making you gain weight. And just first and foremost, like, I know these are all going to be sensitive topics for people, and that's literally why I chose to do it, because again, working with people in this field for about 3 years now, these 3 things right here, stress, hormones, and age. Those 3 things are the top 3 things I hear that people tell me why they can't lose weight, why they can't eat right, why they have a hard time working out. These 3 things, bar none, by far, are the top 3 things that I hear every single day that people use. I don't want to call it an excuse, but it's an excuse why they aren't making their goals. And I hear other people telling people, oh, don't worry about it, Sally. You're not 20 anymore. You don't have to look that way. It's not as easy for you to lose weight. Well, no, it's not as easy, but you still can do it, right? So it's like I wanted to address these 3 topics right now in this video. So again, I can try to help and reach more people, because these 3 things normally lead people down a path of, well, it's just my stress. I'm so stressed out, so that's why I can't lose weight. Well, my hormones are messed up, or I should have wrote one more, but hormones and or metabolism are messed up, and that's why I can't lose weight. Or, oh, I'm getting older, I have kids, that's why I can't lose weight anymore. None of those things are true. None of those things are true when it comes to actually why you're not losing weight, and that's what I want to discuss today, because I don't want you to be able to use that excuse or use that scapegoat or use that reason to not track your calories or not work out or not eat discipline or just go drinking. Like, I don't want you to use these excuses anymore because you're not seeing results, okay? So the first one I want to talk about is stress. You are not losing weight because you're stressed. That is not why you're not losing weight. Now, does stress increase your cortisol levels? Yes, that can happen. But just because your cortisol levels are raised from the stress doesn't mean you can't still lose fat. Now, If your cortisol levels are stressed for a long period of time, then yes, it might make that weight loss, not fat loss, it might make that weight loss slower process, maybe like as opposed to losing a pound a week, you lose maybe a half a pound a week, something like that. Can that slow it down, quote unquote? Yes, it can slow the weight loss process down, possibly, but you're still losing fat. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will still lose fat. That is a fact. Now, so we just kind of said that, yes, your cortisol levels might be raised when you get stressed. Like most people have read that, they've heard that, et cetera, and that may be true, yes, sure. But that doesn't mean over a span of 1, 3, 6, 9 months, you still can't lose fat. You still can't be on a downward trend with your weight losing fat. Because if you're still in a calorie deficit, you will still lose fat even when you're stressed. Now, knowing that, let's talk more about stress. The reason that you are gaining weight when you're stressed is, like we just said, not because of the stress, it's because what you choose to do when that stress hits. And let me explain. When you get stressed, you eat more. When you get stressed, you work out less. When you get stressed, you say, well, I'm stressed, I'm really stressed out, screw this, I'm gonna go in the cabinet and have some ice cream or have that bag of chips. And I know it because I've coached people. That's the only reason I'm saying this. When you get stressed, you say, well, fuck this, I'm not waking up 30 minutes earlier to go to the gym because I'm just too stressed right now. I'm not going to the gym at night like I normally do because I have too many things going on, I'm too stressed. And from that stress, you are then choosing to not eat as well. You are choosing not to go work out. You are choosing, when you're stressed, you're gonna say, well, I don't have time to meal prep, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna eat whatever's there. I'm just gonna eat whatever I have. I'm just gonna go out to eat. That is your choice though. That's not the stress. The stress is not making you gain weight. It's your choice what you're doing after the stress hits. And that's something that is very, very big because most people will come and tell me, well, I'm just so stressed out right now, my body doesn't wanna lose weight. No, that's not the case. You're stressed out, so you're eating more and you're moving less. So if you eat more and move less, of course you're not going to lose weight. But if you're stressed and you still stick to your diet, it's obviously harder. Yes, it may be harder when you are stressed to stick to your diet, to keep working out, to keep meal prepping, to keep doing these things. Doesn't mean it's impossible. It means you have to work a little bit harder. So stress, first and foremost, that's not causing you to gain weight. And I want to make that very, very clear because I don't want you to use that excuse. Just because you're stressed, you can still hit your diet. You can still go work out 3 to 4 times a week. You can still meal prep. Like you can still do these things. You don't have to go drink just because you're stressed. I love that one. People are like, well, I'm so stressed, so I had a couple drinks. Okay, that's fine, and I'm not judging. But when you're not seeing progress because of that, it's not the stress that's making you gain weight. It's your decision to go drinking after you are stressed that's making you gain weight. So I want to make that very, very clear. And that's the first one I want to discuss. So again, I hope that helped. And again, going back to the scientific stuff, like scientifically proven, I don't know what the hell I was trying to say there, scientifically proven, just because your cortisol levels are raised, you don't gain weight. Will it make it harder? Possibly, but you can still lose fat if you're in a calorie deficit. It's what you're choosing to do after the stress hits. Eat more, move less, that's making you gain weight, all right? So that's first and foremost. The next one is gonna be hormones, and this one is tough because just first and foremost, I've worked with individuals, I have coached individuals with PCOS, Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, premenopause, menopause. I've worked with people with certain hormonal and or metabolic issues. And I will say, if you have those issues, go get medicated, go take the proper medication from a doctor, not from a fucking random homeopath. Like, go to the doctor, go get medicated, take care of that, and then you can get regular, get healthy, and then start losing the fat again. That's just first and foremost. And I know people are gonna come at me like, oh, well, I have this and I have that. And I totally get it. Go get medicated, take the medication, get right, and then go from there. So that's first and foremost. And again, I've worked with people with those things I just listed, so I understand. But it's still possible, and we're gonna talk about it right now. Hormones. One thing, so most people will, the thing about people, and especially with this day and age and the internet, most people will just diagnose themselves. Like, well, I'm not losing weight, so it must be my thyroid. I'm not losing weight, so it must be my metabolism. Something's wrong there. I must have Hashimoto's. I must have menopause, whatever it is. I must have some kind of disease. And then from there, I'm like, perfect, amazing. Have you gone to a doctor and gotten your blood work done? And they're like, well, no, but I know I'm not losing weight because I know something's wrong with my thyroid. Oh, wait. So you haven't gone to the doctor and checked your blood work yet? Well, no, I don't need to. Okay, amazing, perfect. For me, go to the doctor, get the blood work, and then from there we can, your doctor can give you the medicine and you'll get better. And if you can't see, if you're listening via podcast, I'm winking at the camera right now. And they're like, okay, fine. Oh, amazing. That's going to be my secret key. I'm like, perfect. Sure. They go to the doctor, have the blood work done. They get a whole thyroid. They have a whole blood panel. So it's everything. It all comes back fucking phenomenal. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So, well, I thought you had something wrong with your thyroid. Well, this must be wrong. I have to go take it again. This and that. I'm like, no. There's nothing wrong with you. That's the amazing part. And both of this is amazing because if your blood work comes back and there's something wrong, you have Hashimoto's, whatever it is, perfect. Take the medication, get better, and then from there, continue with your diet and lose fat. Perfect, amazing. If it comes back and you have nothing wrong with you, amazing. And what happens most of the time is people will get very, very frustrated at first. Very, very upset and almost like angry. Like, I don't believe this. I know something's wrong. There has to be something wrong. It has to be my thyroid. It has to be my metabolism. And I'm like, no, you're just eating too many calories, which is great because now we've gotten our blood work done. There's nothing wrong. So we know we're eating too many calories. And that right there in itself is very empowering because it puts the power back into your hands. It's not, oh, my thyroid, oh, my metabolism, oh, I'm getting whatever it is. It's not that anymore. It's back in the ball's back in your court. It's in your control to then change it because now you know there's nothing wrong. Your thyroid's fine, metabolism's fine, everything's fine. You're eating too many damn calories. And then from there, I say, okay, well, start tracking your calories. Start weighing everything out. Start on the weekends. You have to track too. Track all your drinks. Track all your sodas, all your juices. Start tracking everything. And then from there, you will see, oh, maybe I was eating healthy, but I was eating too many almonds. I was eating too much salmon. Like whatever it is, you were eating too many calories. And that is just by far I want to put this flag in the ground, the bottom line. If your blood work shows you are fine, you are eating too many calories. Bar none. That's the bottom line. But from there, that should be very empowering to you because you know that, okay, well, if I'm just eating too many calories, I have to do something about it. I have to eat less calories. So then you start tracking your calories, you start weighing everything out, you start doing these things on a consistent basis, not just for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, for 6, 9 months at a time. Do it on a consistent basis, and you will, I promise you will see results. But one thing I always hear is people try to come to me and say, well, something's wrong with my hormones. And if it is, cool, medicated, fine. If not, come back, reassess, get real with yourself, if you have to have somebody tell you that nothing is wrong with you, you're eating too many calories, if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. But taking that next step and doing that and then and then acting upon, okay, I'm eating too many calories, what do I do now? That is going to get you results, guys. And I'm making this a point because I don't want you to use that excuse anymore of my thyroid, my metabolism, et cetera, et cetera. If you have a problem, that's one thing. But if you don't have any issues, you're eating too many calories, and you have to accept the responsibility to then do something about it. You have to hold yourself accountable and not put it in someone else's hands or something else's hands and say, okay, I'm eating too many calories. What can I do to then change this to get the results I want to get? So that's on hormones. And again, I know people are probably going to come at me and say, well, I have this and I have that. And again, I've worked with individuals with everything I listed earlier and more, so I totally get it. But it's not impossible. Just even if you do have a thyroid issue, it's not impossible to lose weight. You can still lose fat with Hashimoto's, with a thyroid disease, with menopause, whatever it is. You can still do that. So that's hormones. And the last one I'll talk about is age. And this one is, especially with people who are 35, 40, 45, 50, whatever it is, getting up in that age, and that's young as shit, honestly, but I just work with people that age, so I know they call themselves old. I don't understand why, but especially with like injuries, like people who have like elbow injuries or like knee injuries, they're like, oh man, it's just getting old age and my knee's starting to hurt. I'm like, Well, no, you're squatting awful. So like that's why your knees hurt, not because you're 40. You're just doing something wrong for a long period of time. It's not the age, it's that you're doing the exercise wrong. You're doing something wrong that's causing you to have pain. Pain is a sign that you're not doing something right. So that's first and foremost. But going back to nutrition and fat, et cetera. So age, and this is one that, again, if you're listening, this is probably around where you are, like 30, 35, 40, 50, whatever it is. You have kids, you live a different lifestyle. And I say this because I want to paint a picture for you right now. You're 22, you just graduated from college, and you get a job as a bartender or a waiter, right? That's what some, and I don't say most, but that's what some people do, right? So you get a job, you're 22, you're being a waiter all night. So you also work out maybe 3 to 4 times a week, you run, you lift, whatever it is. So your lifestyle now consists of, okay, well, I'm working out 3 to 4 times a week, which is amazing, but my job is also running around like a chicken with my head cut off the whole night, serving people, having to interact, having to walk around, having to stay on my feet. You're moving more and you're eating less. And you're eating less because you don't have a spouse yet that cooks you dinner, that cooks you an amazing dinner. So you don't have a spouse. You just kind of go home and fucking eat whatever and then go to bed. You're eating less because when you go out to drink, you don't have all the chips and the burritos and the pizza. You just drink to get shit-faced, so you eat less food, so you just drink the food as opposed to drinking and eating. So that's when you were younger, that's when you were 22. You're now 40. You're 40, you have 2 kids, you have a desk job as opposed to a waiter or a waitress or a bartender. You have a desk job now. And you only work out maybe 2 to 3 times a week. You're not running as much, you're not on your feet as much, you're moving less. And you also have a spouse that cooks an amazing dinner. And you also have your favorite restaurant right across the street from you that serves an amazing burrito you go get almost every single day at lunch. You're eating more and you're moving less. So if you're eating more and you're moving less, well, then that's the reason you're gaining weight, not because of the age. Again, it's what you're choosing to do at that age that's making you have this result. It's not because you're 40, your metabolism slowed down. And just like scientific, factual information, does your metabolism slow down as you age? Yes, but if you actually look at the research, the scientific studies of what happens to your metabolism as you age, guys, it decreases by like 1-2%, like every 5 years or something nuts like that. And that's like 50, 100 calories like a day. Like if you are honestly blaming your weight gain on your age because your metabolism slowed down, you just sound asinine because unfortunately you're uneducated on that topic. And that's why I'm doing this video, this podcast right now, because I want to educate you on, yeah, your metabolism slows down when you age, but it's like 1-2% every like 5 years or something so insurmountable like that. That would not make you gain weight if you're doing everything else correctly. Everything else the same way you did, but just because now you're 40 instead of 39, that you automatically gain weight. It's not true, guys. It's not true. And I want to make this a point because it's now the lifestyle you're leading back then as opposed to now. It's not because your metabolism slowed down. And I want to make the point about all 3 of these things right now because, like I said earlier, the more I get into this industry, the more I coach people, the more I have interactions with people, the more I see that some people are uneducated, but like a lot of people don't want to hold themselves responsible and hold themselves accountable for their actions. And that's not just older people, that's everybody in this world today, but you have to hold yourself accountable for your actions and stop making an excuse. Stop blaming something on somebody else. So it's like these 3 things, most people use it to say, all right, well, fuck it. It's my stress, it's my hormones, it's my age. That's why I can't lose weight, and I can't do anything about that. Stress, well, I'm stressed, it's going to raise my cortisol, I can't do anything about it. Hormones, well, I have a thyroid issue, even though I've never been to the doctor and gotten it checked. I have a thyroid issue, so that's why I'm not losing weight. Well, I'm 40 now, so I can't do the same things I once was able to do at 22. Guys, all those things are not true. And I want to make this video, and I want to look right into the camera when I say this, because even if you're stressed out, even if your hormones are messed up, even if you're 40 instead of 20, you can still lose fat. There is nothing that says you cannot do that. If you take it into your hands, take it out of stress's hands, take it out of age's hands, put the ball back into your court and say, I'm going to do this. If you follow football, If you follow Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, I hate the Ravens because I'm a Bengals fan, whole nother topic, but Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, he wears a shirt that says, nobody cares, work harder. And that's literally what I'm trying to do with this, because yes, I care if you're stressed out, but I don't care. Yes, I care if you have a hormone issue or if you even don't, but I don't care. If you're 40, I don't care. I don't care. Work harder. Find a way to get it done. Just because you're stressed out, will it be harder for you to stick to your diet and stick to the gym routine you have? Yes. Is it impossible? No. If you're 40 instead of 20 and you have more responsibilities, you have kids, you have a spouse, you have a more demanding job, is it harder for you to lose weight? Yes, maybe. And what? So what? It's like, I care, but I don't care. Find a way to make it happen. You have to work harder. If you keep putting in 50% effort and expecting 150% results, it's never going to happen, and you're just going to get frustrated. You're going to get frustrated and believe that you can't do it. And one huge thing I believe in is self-efficacy, the inherent belief that you can do something. But the more you think that your hormones are holding you back, the more you think that just because you're stressed, it's holding you back. Well, now you're not in control. Something else is in control of your life and your actions and your body and everything. So now if it's not in your control, you can't have a high self-efficacy because it's out of your control. So you believe you can't do anything about it. And if you believe you can't do anything about it, then you're not going to do anything about it. And if you don't do anything about it, then you're not going to see any results. But you're just going to keep getting frustrated and disappointed in yourself that, well, I can't lose this weight. I can't lose the weight. I can't seem to find what works for me. What works for you is you're going to have to put in more effort. What works for you is you're going to have to track your calories meticulously. You're going to have to work out 3 to 4 times a week. You're going to have to weigh your foods out. You're going to have to practice, God forbid, practice some self-control and not drink as much and weigh your foods out. Like, you have to do these things. I don't care about any of these things. It is possible. I know 70, 80-year-old people who are in the best shape of their life. And you're telling me at 25, 35, you can't be in the best shape of your life? Excuse my French, but it's fucking bullshit. It's just not true. And I want to get this out there because I don't want to hear these excuses anymore. And I'm getting very passionate and very loud about it because it's something I see hold people back that they shouldn't be holding themselves back with. They're holding themselves back because they really think that their age is the reason they're not losing weight or they're stressed or whatever it is. Like, stop holding yourself back. Put in more effort, and I promise you are going to see results. Guys, I hope this video helped you. If you want to reach out to me, have any questions, or you want to have a discussion, I don't want to say argument, if you want to have a discussion on any of these things, I am more than happy to have that discussion because, like I said, I've worked with people with PCOS, with thyroidism, with menopause. I've worked with people with actual conditions, not just like, oh, I've diagnosed myself. And they still lost fat, and they still got stronger, and they still built muscle. They've still done all these things. If anyone like you has ever done it, you can do it too. Guys, I hope this video helped. No more excuses. Please take this video, this podcast, however you're consuming this, implement it into your life and start seeing results, guys. Reach out with any questions. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next time.